හරි ළමයි අපි පටන් ගමු එහෙනම් මුලින්ම දෙවෙනි ප්‍රශ්නය අහලා තියෙනවා which of the following hardware component will lose data when the power to a computer is switched off, right? So they have given registers, cache memories and main memory. So all three memories are volatile memories, right? So volatile memories means when the power is disconnected, the things that is in their mind or like that is in the particular memory is going to wiped out, right? So registers, cache memory and main memory, all three things are volatile memories, right? So volatile, so that means all three things are going to lose data, right? So who is not going to lose data? It is ROM as well as the secondary storages, right? So for the second one it is number 5. And the 9th question, which of the following is the most simplified expression equivalent to this one, right? So there is a simplification, so you have to do this carefully, otherwise you will be captured in a position where you won't see the answer, right? So the expression is a dot b bar dot c bar plus b dot c bar plus a bar dot b bar dot c plus b dot c, right? So there are many ways that you can do this math, right? So I'll approach in one way, right? I'll consider the first two terms. So C bar is common, so I'm taking C bar out. So it gives me AB bar plus B, right? So that is from these two terms. And plus from the third term, I can take C out. So it is A bar dot B bar plus B. That is from these two terms, right? So this is regarding the distributive law, right? And now I can apply the redundancy law for this particular bracket. So here B is alone and its complement of B is staying with another variable. So we can forget about the complemented part, right? තනියෙන් ඉන්න කෙනාගේ complement වෙච්ච කෙනා, right? So what we can say is instead of this we can write A plus B, right? Then plus over here C is staying, and again this particular one, right? The same law applies. B is staying alone and complement of B is there, right? So we can forget about the complemented part. So you can write this as A bar plus B, right? So then after you can multiply these two, like you can solve the brackets again. So you will be getting C bar dot A plus C bar dot B plus C dot A bar plus C dot B. Now, since we have deal with the couples, now first two couples are generated from the first bracket and the next two couples are generated from the next bracket. මේ දෙන්න එන්නේ මේ couples දෙක එන්නේ මේ උඩ තියෙන bracket solve කරගත්තම. දැන් ඒක නිසා ආයෙසරයක් ඒ දෙන්නවම අරගෙන අපි simplify කරන්න try කරන එක තේරුමක් නැහැ. මොකද ඒකෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ common term එකක ලේට ගන්න එක විතරනේ. So we are going to deal with some cross connections, or like from the crossing the other terms, right? එතකොට first එකත් එක්ක deal කරන්න පුළුවන් කෙනෙක් මේ පැත්තෙන් හොයලා බලන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් second එකත් එක්ක deal කරන්න පුළුවන් කෙනෙක් හොයලා බලන්න ඕනේ, right? So if you think about this particular one and this particular terms, we can take B out from those things, right? So what we are going to do here, we are taking C bar dot A as it is, and we take C dot A bar over here. And from these two, we take B out plus B out. And in the bracket, it is going to give you C bar plus C. Right? So C bar plus C is equals to 1. That means this is C bar dot A plus C dot A bar plus B. Right? So actually it's going to be B dot 1. B dot 1 means again equals to B. Right? From here after, it's not going to give you a solution. Right? Simplify when. Right? So this should be the answer. So that answer lies in the fourth one. Okay. Is that clear? Right. Okay, great. So the next one, the 10th one. Right. So the 10th one, here they are showing about the block diagram of the sequential circuits. Right. So it's better you know about this, since they have introduced this in this particular paper. Right. So what they are doing is, here the part A is considered as a combinational circuit. මොකද මේක ඔයගොල්ලෝ search කරලා බලුවොත් like this block diagram of a sequential circuit කියලා, it's going to give you the same diagram, right? Like this. Right? So it's a combinational logic circuit at the top and the memory is at the bottom. Right? So මේක මේ අර අපි ඉගෙන ගත්ත flip flop ඊළඟට set reset latches වලට අදාළව තියෙන common diagram එක. right? يعني memory කොටසක් මතක තියාගන්න circuit එක කොහොමද හැදෙන්නේ කියන එකේ basic block diagram එක. Right? So at the top square indicate it is a combinational logic circuit, and the latter part, the bottom part, says it is a memory or a storage element. So we know in a sequential circuit, not only the current inputs are being matters, it is considered the previous inputs as well. Right? කලින් තිබ්බ input එකක් ඒගොල්ලෝ consider කරනවා. Right? අපි ඕක ගැන කතා කරනකොට we talk about the power switch of the computer, right? So once we press the power switch, it's on the computer. Again we press the power switch, if off the computer, it off the computer. Right? So both the scenarios we are just pressing the button. Right? එකම දේ කරේ button එකක් ඇතුළට ඔබන එක. එතකොට first time එකේ එබුවම on කරනවා, ඊළඟ time එකේ ඔබනකොට off කරන්න නම් switch එකට මතක තියෙන්න ඕනේ කලින් සැරේ එබුවේ මෙයාව on කරන්න කියලා. කලින් සැරේ press කරපු reason එකට අදාළව තමයි next press එක තීරණය වෙන්නේ. Right? ඒක තමයි storage කරගෙන storage element එකේ store කරගෙන යාව consider කරන්නේ ඊළඟ output එක generate කරනකොට. Right? So this is a combinational circuit. And this is the memory element. Right? So this part indicates the inputs. And this indicates the outputs. Right, so with this information, it says the block A is a combinational logic circuit, which is a correct one. The block B is a memory element, which is a correct one again. Only the block A can be implemented using logic gates. No, even block B can be created using logic gates. Now, when it comes to the sequential circuit, there is only two things that you need to remember. Now, it's better you remember the block diagram. If you think about the circuits, these are the circuits we had, right? We can create a combinational circuit using two NAND gates. Right, so what will happen? Output of a one NAND gate will be an input for another NAND gate. Right, so this is what we call a flip-flop. Right, so the same circuit can be drawn using two NOR gates. It's the same way. එකම විදිහ වෙනසකට තියෙන්නේ gates දෙක විතරයි. Right, මේක තමයි මේගොල්ලෝ මේ block diagram එකක් විදිහට මෙතන පෙන්නලා තියෙන්නේ. Right, so that is what you need to understand. Right, so due to that, we can take the first and the second as the answers. Is that clear, people? Right, okay. Right, then the 13th one. Yes. When the number of processors started by a user on a single processor, computer increases. What happens to the response time of each process as perceived by the user and memory management related work of the operating system respectively? Right? So, number of processors started by a user on a single processor computer. So, if number of processors are being started, that means there will be a lot of processors inside the memory. So if those things are started by the user is starting those things because he needs to work with all the programs simultaneously. Right? So in that particular reason, due to that particular reason, the memory management related work should be increased. Right? එක හරියට අර ඔයාලට මේසයක් උඩ මොන හරි එක දෙයක් තියලා කියනවා හැන්ඩල් කරගන්න කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ කියනවා දේවල් පහක් ගෙනල්ලා තියලා පහම හැන්ඩල් කරගන්න කියලා. right? එකක් හැන්ඩල් කරගන්න යන වැඩේට වඩා පහක් හැන්ඩල් කරගන්න යන වැඩේදී ඔයා වැඩිපුර වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒතර මේසය කියන්නේ මෙමරි එක කියලා හිතුවොත් your memory management related works are going to be increased. Right, කලින් තිබුණේ එක process එකයි එයාව CPU එකට දානවා run කරනවා අවශ්‍ය විදිහට run and waiting ඔය දේවල් ටික කරන්න පුළුවන්. පහක් ආවම පස් දෙනාම එක එක වෙලාවල් වලට ඉඩ දීලා CPU එකට දාලා run කරලා queue කරලා නේද block කරන්න ඕන කට්ටිය block කරලා වැඩ වැඩි වෙනවා. Right, simply it increase the memory management work as well as the response time. The response time means what? The time that it's taken to execute a command from the issuance of the command. Command එක issue කරපු වෙලාවෙ ඉඳලා command එක execute වෙන්න යන වෙලාව. ඒතර කලින් එක process එකක් තියෙනකොට එයාට අදාළව command එක ආවම ටක් ගාලා ඒක execute කරගන්න ගන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් වැඩ පහක් තියෙනකොට වැඩ පහට commands පහක් එනවා. process පහට commands පහක් එනවා. So where first command එක ආවම ඒකට අදාළ process එක අරගන්න අතරතුරේ second command එක ආවොත් second process එකට wait වෙලා ඉන්න වෙනවා first එක ඉවර වෙනකම්. එතකොට response time එක comparatively it increase as well. Right, so both response time and memory management related work are going to increase. So the third one is the answer. Right? Clear the lamai? Right then, ඕකටම comparatively කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. කොහොම දෙයක් වුණාම waiting time එක මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා. waiting time එකත් increase වෙනවා නේද? අපි පොලිමක ඉඳලා වැඩක් කරගන්න යනකොට පොලිම කොටයි නම් අපේ වැඩේ ඉක්මනට කරගන්න පුළුවන්. පොලිම දිගයි නම් අපිට මේ වැඩේ සඳහා comparatively වැඩි වෙලාවක් බලන් ඉන්න වෙනවා. Same happens here. Right? Right. So
memory management related work decreases වෙන්න හේතුව පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්නකෝ.
Decrease නෙමෙයි increase. Sorry, hold on. මම වැරදි එක නැතිරේ. Hold on. Decrease නෙමෙයි. Memory management related works should be increase. First එක. Third නෙමෙයි. First එක. ඊළඟ මගේ වැරද්ද. Both response time and memory management related work increases.
Hi sir.
දෙන්නම increase වෙනවා. Right? Then ඕක මේ note එකේදී අපි ඔය OS වලට related ඔය terms හතරක් කතා කරා. මතකයිද? එවන් context switching ළඟදී තමයි අපි ඔක කතා කරේ. Yes, Nitin. Nitin. And මේ ගැන ඔයගලන්ගෙන් නැවත අහන්න පුළුවන්. Right, turnaround time. Time required for particular process to complete from submission time to completion. දැන් ඔය scenario එකේම turnaround time එක ගැන ඔයගලෙන් අහන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර එක process එකක් නම් මේ RAM එකට එන්නේ turnaround time එක අපි හිතුවොත් තප්පර 2යි කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ process එක එනවා තප්පර 2කින් process එක ඉවර වෙනවා. එක process එකක් තියෙන වෙලාව. process 5ක් තිබ්බොත් පළවෙනි එක්කෙනා තප්පර 2කින් ඉවර වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එයා ඉවර වෙනකන් දෙවෙනි එක්කෙනාට wait වෙලා ඉන්න වෙනවා. ඒතර පස් දෙනාම එකම වෙලාවේ RAM එකට ආවොත් පළවෙනි එක්කෙනා ඉක්මනට ඉවර වෙනවා. අන්තිම එක්කෙනා අන්තිමට වෙලා ගිහින් ඉවර වෙනවා. So turnaround times increased. Right? So response time එක ගැන තමයි අපි දැන් ඔය කතා කරේ. The time taken in an interactive program from the issuance of command to the commencement of the response to that command. Right? Command එක issue කරපු වෙලාවෙ ඉඳලා ඒක commence කරන්න පටන් ගන්න යනකම් ගත වෙන time එක. Right? In throughput එක ගැන අහන්නත් පුළුවන්. Number of process completed per unit time. ඉතින් පැහැදිලිවම throughput එක වැඩි වෙනවා. processes ගන්න වැඩි වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ throughput එක වැඩි වෙනවා කියන්නේ. මොකද එක process එකක් තියෙනකොට තප්පර 2කට එක process එක ගානේ ඉවර කරගන්න පුළුවන්. processes ගන්න වැඩි වෙනකොට ඒවට හම්බෙන වෙලාවල් වෙනස් වුණොත් ඔයාගේ frequency එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. number of process completed per unit time. සමහර වෙලාවට throughput එක වෙනස් නොකර තියාගන්නත් පුළුවන්. මොකද මේක යහන්නේ frequency එකක්. ඒතර එක තප්පර එක වැඩකට ගන්න තප්පර 2යි නම් එක process එකක් execute කරගන්න ගන්න තප්පර 2යි නම් තප්පර 2කට වතාවක් එක process එක ගන්න execute වෙනවා. right? එතකොට throughput එක same يعني එකක maintain කරන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි process එකෙන් process එකට කරන්න තියෙන වැඩ ප්‍රමාණය input output වලින් respond කරගන්න තියෙන එක ඊළඟට අනිත් resources පාවිච්චි කරන එක ඕක වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට. එහෙම වුණාම සමහරවිට එක process එකක් තප්පර 2කින් ඉවර කරන්න වෙනවා නම් තව process එකක් තප්පර 3-4ක් යන්න පුළුවන්. So throughput changes. Right? Waiting time. How much time a process spends in the ready queue waiting its turn to get on the CPU. Right? CPU එකට එනකම් waiting queue එකේ RAM එකේ waiting state එකේ කොච්චර වෙලා ඉන්නවද? මේක මුලදිම ඉන්න ප්‍රමාණය විතරක් නෙවෙයි. දැන් අපි 7 state diagram එක ගැන කතා කරනවානේ run කරලා time out වුණාම ආයෙ RAM එකට ගන්නවා ඊට පස්සේ ටික වෙලාවක් ගිහලා ආයෙ run කරන්න දෙනවා time out වුණාම ආයෙ RAM එකට ගන්නවා කියලා. රන්නේ කොහමරි waiting state එකේ ඉන්න සම්පූර්ණ කාලය තමයි waiting time එක කියලා මෙතනදී calculate කරන්නේ. right දැන් ඔය response time ගැන අහපු නිසා අනිත් දේවල් ගැන අහන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක නිසා OS lesson එකේ ඔය දේවල් ගැන චුට්ටක් ඔළුව දාගන්න. right okay so after 13 it is 18. What is the process carried out in the modulation techniques in data transmission? Right. Methodology, what they are going to have is encoding information in transmitted signal, encoding signals in transmitted information, extracting information from the transmitted signal. Now here what they are trying to modulate is, right? So when they are modulating, what we are doing is we are encoding signals in transmitted information, like hold on, sorry, encoding information in transmitted signals. මොකද අපි modulate කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ, the first one should be the answer. 18 හරි නේද? ඒක නේද කොහොමද? පැටලෙනවා සමහරවිට. Yeah, the first one. Right, so what we are doing is there are information කියලා කියන්නේ අපි create කරන එක. Like as an example, just think about this communication. My voice is turned into a signal and send it over the internet to your computer, and through the speaker you are going to hear that. Right, so what I am creating is the voice. Right, that is an information. Right, so that information is transmitted into a signal, then communicated over a guided or unguided medium. Right, so what we are doing is එක බොහොම සරලව ඔය කියන කතාව. ඕනම modulation technique එකක වෙන්නේ encoding information to a transmitted signal. Right, එතකොට information එක analog type එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්, digital type එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. දැන් මම කතා කරනකොට මේ කතා කරන්නේ analog type එකේ information එක. voice කියලා කියන්නේ analog. computer එකකින් generate වෙන information එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ digital type information එක. However, it needs to be transmitted to a signal. Right, encode, it should be encoded into the transmitting signal. Right, encode කරනවා කියලා කරන්නේ එතනදී අර carrier signal එකත් එක්ක අපේ original information එක නැත්නම් original data එක mix කරගන්න. Right, okay, එතනට නිකන් clear ද දේවල් ටික? So the next one is 26. Oops. Yes. What is the correct SQL statement to delete database? Call ALDB. If you want to delete a database, or if you want to delete a table, it is the drop that we are using. So it should be drop ALDB in the case of database. If you want to drop a table, it should be drop the table name, should be there. Right? So simple as that. Right? 26. We drop table down. Hold on, Lamai. Drop database, the drop table, the logical. Hold on. Yeah. Drop the keyword drop and the name of the database or the table. Right? So okay, අපි tube එකත් අපි කතා කරලා when we are discussing the SQL. Right, table එක drop කරන තැනම ඇති D data definition language වලට ඕක අයිති වෙන්නේ. right over here. This is the one. Oh, drop table. Hold on. Yes, hold on. There should be the table keyword. Marking scheme variety. They can hold on people. Yes, 4th, 26. Yes, sorry, people. It's my mistake. The drop keyword should be there, and we have to specify what it is. My bad. The 4th one. Lamai Vinadia. Right. Sorry, Lamai. It should be the drop database ALDB, right? It's drop table. We have to say drop table database, and we have to say drop database and the database name. And there is no any where conditions and any of these things, right? So if it is a table, clearly a table. If it is a database, clearly a database, right? So for 26th, it's the 4th one. And the 28th, which of the following statement regarding the logical database schema are true? Yeah, now logical database schema means what the database that we are planning in the system development lifecycle process, right? Or in the system development lifecycle, right? So it's kind of a process which is very similar for the scenario that we are doing when creating a database, drawing an ER diagram and all these things, right? So it says it is a blueprint for a database. Clearly it is. Blueprint means a particular plan. So it is correct. It contains data and information. Now, the logical database schema does not have data and information, the actual data and information, right? If this describes, like it contains data and information about the tables, okay, right? About the table structure, it will be much more descriptive one. So if it say blindly, it contains data and information, That means we can't take a clear idea about data and information to generally, right? It formulates all constraints that are to be applied on the data. Yes, because when we are creating the database, we have to go through how this particular database is creating, what are the tables to be created, and what should be the limitations and all these things for the tables, right? So this can be taken as an incorrect one, and this can be taken as, yes, Suzu, what's happened? Right, sorry for that, Lamai. So with that 28, we can go with A and C only, right? So for 28, yeah, it's the third one. Right, then 35th. Lamai, if anything, Bashita, may ataramedde තියෙනවා දේවල් කියන්න. Right. So 35th. Yeah. Yes. So this is going to be, they are saying like, what would be the output of the following Python code if the input was 17? So the input is 17, n is going to be 17.0. The reason is it is being converted into a float, right? Then m is going to assign with this particular calculation, right? So how the calculation is going to go? All right, okay. Right now, how this is going to happen? So we are having 17.0 flow division within brackets n remainder 5, and that part will be inside these big brackets, and at the end it has the exponential of 3, right? So the first one that is going to happen is this part, n remainder 5. So then it is going to create as 17.0 flow division. N remainder 5 means 17.0 remainder 5, right? This is going to be 17.0 as well. So 17.0 remainder 5 is going to give you a float answer, right? So because why it is giving you a float answer? Because this part is a float value. නැත්තම් remain එක වැඩ කරන්නේ ඒකට දීලා තියෙන data types අනුව, right? So float එක කෙනෙක් int එක කෙනෙක් එක්ක interact වෙනවා නම් the answer is going to be float because floating has the higher caste. So integer is the lowest one, floating point has the higher caste, complex is higher than that. So 17.0 remainder 5 means 17.0 will be divided by 5 and consider the remainder. That means 2.0 will be here. Now the small bracket is solved. Now we have these things. right? Then 17.0. Right, so this is exponential 3. So now what is happening? 17.0 flow divided by 2.0 will happen. Here, flow division means you are going to get the answer, not the remainder. Right, so that means 17.0 flow divided by 2.0. That means this is 8.0. It is 16 and 1 is remaining. Right, so this is going to give you 8.0 as the answer. So 8.0 into exponentiation of 3. So 8.0 into 3 means 8 into 8 is 64. 64 into 8, that means 512.0. Right, so the answer is going to be the third one. Is it clear, everyone? Right, okay. Right. So moving to the 36th. So 36th is talking about, suppose that S is a string, L is a list, T is a tuple. In a Python program, the length of each is 10. Consider the following Python statement. Now, length of each is 10 means what? String is going to have 10 characters, 10 characters. Characters means not only the letters, right? Spacers, any other symbols, but there will be 10 things. Right? String string S is going to be some particular word which has 10 blocks like this. Right? And list, for a list, the length is 10 means what? There will be 10 items. Maybe items the hierarchy, right? And tuple goes the same way. There will be 10 items. String එකේ කතාව ඊට වෙනස්. String එක එන්නේ 10 characters, right? දැන් මෙතන මම A හිස්තැනක් B C D හිස්තැනක් E F G H කියලා ලියුවොත්, so the 10 characters are okay. Right? So what they are trying to do is, they have given you these 3 lines. It says S2 equals 2. Now S2 means what? The second element of the string or the second index. So if we take the same string, hold on. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, likewise it goes. So they are talking about the second index. That means this. And if the list, it's going to be 0, 1, 2, likewise, they are talking about this. With tuple, the same thing, 0, 1, 2. So they are talking about this position. Now what they are saying is, assign the string 2 for these positions. Now this works only on the list. The reason is list is mutable. It does not work on these two because string is an immutable type. And tuple is also an immutable type. Right? So it works only on the list. So the answer is going to be only 2. Is it clear, everyone? Okay. Right. ඔය එකම චුට්ටක් yeah. Only thank you for reminding me though. They are asking for the incorrect one, right? So the incorrect one, then it's going to be 1 and 3, right? Don't make the silly mistakes like myself, people, right? So the answer is going to be first and the third, right? Okay. So it's better you remember or summarize about these things, people, right? පාන්න මේක ඔළුවේ තියනවද කියලා පොඩ්ඩක්. ඔය types ගැන මම එක සැරයක් ඕගලන්ට දුන්නා නේද ළමයි? පොඩි note එකක් did I? මම චුට්ටක් ආයි ඉක්මනට මතක් කරන්නම්, right? So in the data types, oh, I hate this. Right, data types. There are mutable data types. ළමයි විනාඩියක්. Right, so data types, there can be mutable and immutable. So what are the mutable data types? List and dictionary. Immutable, string, even numbers we can take, integer, float, and complex, tuple, and set. Right? And when it comes to the indexed and non-indexed, or we say ordered and unordered. Ordered, unordered. Ordered, there are 3 types: strings, list, and tuple, because they have an index. An unordered one, dictionary and set. Right? Number type එක unordered කියලා අපිට ගන්න බෑ, මොකද number එකේ අපි එකයිනේ දෙන්නේ. right? ඒවා එක single values තියෙනවා. මේ string, list, tuple, dictionary, set කියන කටියට තමයි multiple values තියෙන්නේ. Right? So yeah, these type of clarifications are there, so it's better you know. right? So then the 36 is done. 38 illadadi baneda bhashita. Yes, so the 38, what would be the output when the following Python code is executed? Okay, right. So here they have tested the global keyword for the very first time, right? So here what they are saying is there is a global variable. Now this X is a global X. Why we address it as a global X? Because it is out of a function. Function එක ඇතුලේ ඉන්න කට්ටියට තමයි local කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? So this P, this Q, right? And again, this P and Q are going to be the locals. This is local scope. Now, indicating this, the X with the global X is asking the program to consider the global X. Right? එතකොට function එක ඇතුලේ global කියලා ලිව්වොත් එතනදී program එකට කියනවා x කියලා කෙනෙක් එළියේ ඉන්නවා global කෙනෙක් විදිහට ඉන්නවා එයාව function එක ඇතුලට පාවිච්චි කරන්න කියලා. global කියන එක නා නොතිබුණා නම් x කියන කෙනා අයිති වෙන්නේ local කෙනෙක් විදිහට. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ අදාළ function එකට විතරක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන විදිහට. Right? So here they have said global X. Now in this line, it says assign Q to P and assign P to Q. Q के value එක P ට දාන්න, P के value එක Q ට දාන්න කියලා. Right? And here it says X equal X plus P. So ඔය මොන දේ වෙන්නත් this myfunc function should be called. So it is called over here. And they are sending X and 3 as the two values. So X holds the value 1 and then 3. So that means this X is going to give to the P and this 3 is going to be taken by the Q. Right? So P is going to become 1 because the value of X is 1. Q is going to take 3 because they are sending 3. The value of X is 1. Right? So from this line, what they are saying is assign the value of Q to P. That means P will become 3. And then it's and the same time it says assign the value of P to Q. So P had 1, so Q is become 1 now. Can කොතනද කියන්නේ values දෙක මාරු කරගන්න කියන්නේ. ඕක Python වලට හරිම specific statement එකක්. Python වල නැතුව Java වගේ එකක් ගත්තොත් ඔය විදිහට ලියන්න බෑ. error එකක් එනවා. ඒතර මුලින්ම අපි කරන්නේ P ගේ value එක කවුරු හරි වෙන variable එකකට assign කරලා ඊට පස්සේ Q ගේ value එක අරන් P ට දාලා අර අපි තුන්වෙනියට පාවිච්චි කරපු variable එකේ තියෙන value එක ආයි P ට දෙනවා. එහෙමයි සාමාන්‍ය විදිහට මාරු කරගන්නේ. Right? But Python වලදී මේක possible. And then it says X equals X plus P. So the value of X is 1. Right? The function එක ඇතුලේ X ව පාවිච්චි කරනකොට දැන් කියලා තියෙන්නේ global X ව පාවිච්චි කරන්න. So it says X equal X plus P. So X value is 1, 1 plus 3 is happening, so X will become 4. right? So then the function is done. So from here, the function was called. Once the function is done, it returns to the next line. Right? Because the return statement එකක් නැහැ මෙතන. ඒක නිසා function එක ඉවර වුණාම ඊළඟට function calling statement එකට පහළ statement එකට තමයි යන්නේ. Return statement එකක් නැති වුණා. So then it says print x, value of x is 4. So because of that, 4 is printed. Clear the lamai?
So පොඩි අවුලක් තියෙනවා return එක දාද්දි return දාන්නේ අපි function එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන parameters දෙකට call වෙන විදියට නේ return pq වගේ ඔකට දානවනේ.
return එක දීලක ඔයාට කැමති එකක් return කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් ඔයාට function එකකින් return statement එකක් ලියනකොට variables pass කරනවා නම් ඔයාට pass කරන්න පුළුවන් p කියන variable එක q කියන variable එක even ඔයාට x කියන variable එක උනත් return කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ තුන් දෙනාම ඉන්නේ නිසා. තේරුණාද ඊළඟ?
ඒ කියන්නේ function එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන variable වෙන්න ඕනේ නැද්ද return කරන්න?
function එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන variable තමයි. ඉතින් දැන් මේ function එක ඇතුලේ x p q කියන තුන් දෙනාම ඉන්නවනේ. තේරුණාද?
x කියන කෙනා නෑනේ සර් මේ
දැන් x අපි global විදිහට මේක ඇතුලේ පාවිච්චි කරනවානේ දීලක. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් x කියන්නේ එක කෙනෙක් වුණාට x කියන කෙනා දැන් function එකෙන් එළියෙත් ඉන්නවා function එක ඇතුලෙත් ඉන්නවා. මට මේ ඇතුලේ ඉන්න x ව එළියට return කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. එළියට return කරනවා කියන එකෙන් වැඩක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද එළියේ ඉන්න x කියාගේම තමයි ඇතුලේ ඉන්න x ට තියෙන්නේ. but ඔයාට ඒක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්.
එතකොට සර් දැන් ඔය my func x,3 කියන තැනට return x,3 දැම්මොතින් ඒ වැඩේම කරගන්න බෑ නේද?
නෑ. අන්න එතන වරද්ද ගන්න එපා. මේ my func x,3 කියලා කියන්නේ calling statement එක. හරි? calling statement එක තියෙන තැනට නෙවෙයි return එක දාන්නේ. function එක ඇතුලේ අපි return එක දාන්නේ. ඒ කියනවා return එකක් ලියනවා නම් return එක ලියවෙන්න ඕනේ මෙන්න මෙතන. x equal x plus p වලට යටින් ලියවෙන්න ඕනේ return statement එක. ඒක යන්නේ මේ function scope එක ඇතුලේ. පැහැදිලිද?
ඊට පස්සේ අපි දැන් return එකට දාන්න පුළුවන් දැන් pq වලින් මොකක් හරි එකක් දාන්නත් පුළුවන් නේද? දෙකම දාන්නත් පුළුවන්ද සර්?
දෙකම දාන්නත් පුළුවන් no problem. ඔයා මෙතනට ලිව්වොත් ඔයාට ලියන්න පුළුවන් return p කියලා ලියන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් return q කියලා ලියන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් return p, q කියලා ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්. right? ඒ විදිහට return කරන්න ඕන variable එක return x කියලා ලියන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඕනනම් ওই තුන් දෙනාම ලියන්න පුළුවන්. right? එහෙම නැතුව ඔයාට ඕන නම් මෙතනින් නිකන් මේ concrete value එකක් return කරන්න පුළුවන්. return 1 කියලා return කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර එක තමයි return වෙන්නේ. right?
ඒ කියන්නේ return වෙලා ඒක එතනින් එහාට මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ?
return උනායින් පස්සේ calling statement එක replace කරනවානේ. එතකොට return statement එකක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි calling statement එක මෙහෙම ලියන්නේ නැහැ. මෙහෙම ලිව්වොත් return එක අල්ලගන්න කෙනෙක් නැති වෙනවා. එතකොට අපි return එක ලියන්න ඕනේ එක්ක print statement එකක් ඇතුලේ. ඒ කියන්නේ call කරන එක්කෙනා my func කියන එක්කෙනා print statement එකක් ඇතුලේ ලියන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට return වෙලා එන කෙනා මේ calling statement එක replace කරනවා.
return 1 කියලා දුන්නොත් print වෙන්නේ එක එහෙමද?
print වෙන්නේ එක. ඔව්. ඒතර මේක වෙනුවට එක ඇවිල්ලා වැටෙනවා මෙතනට. එතකොට එක print වෙනවා. right? එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාලට call කරන්න පුළුවන් x සමානයි කියලා function එක. එතකොට වෙන්නේ මෙයාව replace වෙනවා return වෙන එක. එතකොට කියන්නේ x ට value එක 1 කියලා හම්බ වෙනවා. තේරුණාද දීලක?
එතන පොඩි අර ඩවුට් එකක් තියෙනවා ඒක මම පස්සේ වගේ අහන්න.
හා right clear කරගන්නකො හිමීට call එකක් දීලා right okay right 39th what would be the output of the following Python code if the input was 100? Okay, so that means you are giving 100 to this, so it will become an integer. Then it is asking if n larger than 0. So now n is 100. N's value is 100. So here asking whether 100 is larger than 0. It is correct. So m is given this value. So m is going to have the string value called z. Careful, Zuzu. Right? Then it's not going to end from there. It goes to the next line. මොකද මේ nested if එක තියෙන්නේ මේ alignment එකේමයි. ඒතර මෙයා වෙලා මෙතනටත් එනවා. And it check if n is larger than 10. So n means 100. So 100 is still larger than 10. So it is true. Then it comes to this particular one as well. It checks whether n is larger than 100. So n is not larger than 100. So because of that, this is false. That is false means this one is not going to happen. And it comes here. Here it is asking whether n is less than 50. N is still 100. So n is not less than 50. So this is not happening as well. It is not happening means this is not going to happen anyway. Then the else is going to happen, obviously. So C is going to assign to M. So Z is cancelled and C is assigned. Right? And this is happening and it never goes to this point. Why? This else belongs to this condition. So that condition is true. So it does not look at the else part. So then it goes to the print M part. So M is printing C. So the answer is going to be C. Is that clear, everyone? Right. Okay. 44th. Okay, the PHP one. Right now here, what is the expected output of the following PHP code block? Now they have one PHP variable called $1, another PHP variable called $2, right? So welcome is assigned to $1 and 2020 is assigned to $2, right? So it echoes $1 dot $2. Now dot is there to do what? To do the concatenation, right? අලවන එක බද්ධ කරන එක කරන්න ඉන්නේ dot එක. මේ dot එක වෙනුවට ඔයාට comma එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. Right? It gives the same answer. Right now here what they have said echo $1 dot $2. So $1 means welcome, $2 means 2020. So it prints welcome without any space. It prints 2020 at the same place, like after the E. So the answer is going to be welcome 2020. Right? So the same output is going to be there if the dot is replaced by a comma. Output එක same. Right? Got it, everyone? Yes, the 45th. It says, which of the following effects leads to the downloading speed of a web page? Capability of the web browser. Least effect එක. Right, download speed එකට අඩුවෙන්ම බලපාන කෙනා. So capability of the web browser, generally it influence on the downloading speed. Number of hyperlinks in a web page. Number of hyperlinks is not really affecting. Like web page එකක් download වෙන්න ඒකේ බලපාන දේවල් තමයි web page එකේ content එක. Like if the content contains a lot of images, a lot of videos, then it affects as well as the browser, the capability of browsers. Number and size of images of the web page, it does. Processing power of the server computer that stores the web page, yes, that does. Yeah, hemming process කරන server එකක් නම් web page එක communicate කරන්න වෙලා යනවා. ඉක්මනට speed එකේ process කරන server එකක් නම් ඉක්මනට web page එක communicate වෙනවා. The bandwidth of the internet connection which is used to access the web page, yes, again that depends. Bandwidth එක කියලා කියන්නේ ඔයාගේ data එක එන පාරේ පළලනේ. එතකොට data ගොඩක් එන්න පුළුවන් නම් පාර පළල් නම් එක සැරේ data ගොඩක් එන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක හරියට වතුර බටයක් වගේ නේද? hose එක ලොකු නම් වතුර ගොඩක් එනවා. hose එක හීනී නම් වතුර පොඩ්ඩයි එන්නේ. right? අපි තප්පරයකට hose එකෙන් එළියට එන වතුර ප්‍රමාණය ගැන හිතුවොත් ලොකු hose එකකින් එළියට එන වතුර ප්‍රමාණයට වඩා අඩුයි පොඩි hose එකකින් එන එක. Same goes with the bandwidth. Right? So capability of the browser is also can be taken as the influencing part, or like එයාගෙන් වැඩිපුර බලපෑමක් වෙනවා කියලා අඩුම බලපෑම වෙනවා කියලා අපිට ගන්න වෙන්නේ number of hyperlinks in the web page, because hyperlink is represented by the text වලට තමයි web page එකක loading part එකට අඩුවෙන්ම බලපාන එක්කෙනා influence කරන එක්කෙනා. Right, so we can take the second one, the 45th. For the second one is the answer. Okay, then the last question, the 50th one. Yeah, which of the following statement about quantum computing are correct? In quantum computing, principles of quantum physics are applied. Yeah, that is why it is called quantum computing. Quantum bits are used in quantum computing as the information unit. Yes, qubits are the part of the quantum unit, like the bits represent the normal computer. Quantum computer represents qubits. Quantum computers emit radiation fatal to the human user. No. It's nothing to do with the radiation fatal, which is fatal to human. Right? So A and B only can be taken. Right? So the 50th one, the fourth one is going to be the answer. Okay. So that's all with the MCQ paper. So is it clear, everyone? So we can move to the structured part. Yes, everyone? Any doubts other than this? Okay. Right. So let me take the structured paper. Right. So here what they are asking is, they ask you to write the output of these things. So all right, okay, Bashita, no problem. Right, so in the paper, in the marking scheme, here comes the output, right? So you have to recognize the first row has 3 THs. So number type city is going to be in bold ones, right? Number type and city. bold so it will show something bold. And they are center aligned. All right. So the table border will be there because they have said border equal 1. Then in the first row, TDE is 1. Second one says row span 2. Right. Row span means this row and this row is going to be spanned in the second column. So because of that, these two defines as a one particular thing. So high can be taken, and there is a third data in the first row as goal. And in the second one, it is having 2. Then Jaffna set over here because the second cell is taken already with the row spanning part. So this is going to be the answer. So they said ignore the border style. Border එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Border style එක ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. මෙහෙම double line ඇඳලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Single line වලින් ඇඳම ලකුණු දෙනවා. So you can take 1 mark for that. And the B part is asking.
Sir, අර මේ 1 2 කියන එක left align වෙන්න ඕන නේද?
Oh, දීලක thank you. ඒක මේ මැදට නෙවෙයි එන්න ඕනේ. 1 2 කියන්නේ. මේවා left aligns යන්නේ. Even high කියන එකත් left align යන්නේ. Goal Jaffna කියන ඒවාත් left align එන්නේ. Right. And in the second part, they're asking, consider the following HTML code in which lines are numbered to the answer the question in this part. What are the colors of the text in line number N8 and 9 when the above code is rendered by the browser? So 8 and 9 means these lines. So this says H1 style color colon green and title 1 is there. So H1, here it has an inline style and here it has an internal style. So the superior one is this. Next it consider this. When they have an inline style, they consider the style which is closer to the tag. The tag ekata H1 කියන tag එකට close තියන්නේ inline style එක. So it execute first. So the title 1 should be in the green color. And title 2, it is in between H2, no inline styles are there. So because of that, it takes the blue. Here they are asking to have blue for both H1 and H2. But this inline style will replace the H1 style, but title 2 is going to be in blue. Right, the third one, it says, write one advantage of defining styles as in line number 3, 4, and 5 over that of line number 8. Right? එතකොට අහන්න මෙතන තියෙන විදිහට style දාලා තියෙන එකේ වැදගත්කම වාසිය number 8 වල තියෙනවට වඩා. So you can apply styles for more elements when you have an internal style sheet. Right? So these things can be taken as the marks. right? So the things that are being defined in the header section can be used again and again, right? Consistent, it is easy to maintain the consistency, easy to update, the file size will be reduced, stopping the repetition, right, of the same code, and the code will be in a proper manner, nice and neat, right? So any particular answer, 1 mark is given. So then they are asking about to write an external style sheet. Write only the content of an external style sheet to include the following: the style defined in line number 8 and CSS ID name appear to define the style of the font as Arial. Right, so line 8 ke tiyenne inline style. So it is easy. You take a curly brace, right? And it is going to happen to the H1 or 2. H1. Then you can say the same thing. Color colon green. So it is closed. And it says class ID named, a CSS ID named appear. So if it is ID, it's going to start from a hashtag. So then the ID name should be there, appear, then the curly brace, font family, then the curly brace is closed after putting a semicolon. I'm sorry, we have to type the value name, font family colon, Arial, then a semicolon, then curly brace is closed. You don't need to have the single quotes at the ends of the Arial. Right, so here they have given it. And yeah, they have given 2 marks for that. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, then the part C, it is, they are asking you to arrange this particular PHP code. Then ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ විභාගෙදී PHP code එකක් ලියන්න එයි ළමයි ගොඩක් දුරට. ඒක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ ගිය අවුරුද්දේ දීපු codes දෙකෙන් එකකට ළඟ එකක් වෙයි. Right? නැත්නම් දැන් in the last week, in the last one, they have given the code මේකම නෙවෙයි තිබුණේ නේද? 219 වල තිබුණේ. What was that? Yeah, insert statement එකක්. හිස්තැන් පුරවන්න. Right, now in this paper, this has the retrieving part. Select කරලා කොහොමද ගෙන්නන්නේ කියන එක. So insert කරන විදිහම තමයි update and delete කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. The only place that is changing is the SQL statement. Right? So ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඔයගලන්ට ඕක සමහරට මෙහෙම rearrange කරන්න වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. සමහරලාට පොඩියට පොඩි කොටසක් ලියන්න එන්න පුළුවන්. එක්ක connection එක හදාගන්න හැටි. නැත්නම් insert කරන එක යන විදිහ. Right? So it's better you go through. So here, first of all, we have to create the connection. Right? So D is going to be the first step. Then after the connection, we have to check the connection has happened correctly. So this is going to be the second one. Then we have to write the query and execute it. So this is going to be the third one. Then we have to add that, we have to take this particular output which is given by the SQL, and then we have to retrieve it. So this is the retrieval part. This is going to be the fourth. Right, so the order is going to come as D, B, A, and C. Right, D, B, A, C. So 2 marks are given. So the last part of the C, it is saying what is the expected output of the product table had only the given values. Yes. So product table එකේ තියෙන්නේ මේ ටික. Right, so what they are asking you to select is what? Select item code name from product. So ඒකේ තියෙන්නේ item code and name විතරමයි. So it's going to give you both the row, both the columns. You can have to make a තමයි output table එක වෙන්නේ SQL statement එකකට දාලව. So when this is a output table, then what happens? This result, this dollar result is going to have something like a very big list, right? And with the help of this fetch ASOC, it is turned what you call the table is turned into an associative array in the PHP. Right, so line by line associative array එකක් බවට යාපත් කරනවා. Right, so that means මේ කියන එකේ මේ එක row එකක් හදනවා item code colon P1 pen name colon pen කියලා. Right, මතකයි නේද ළමයි associative array එක? Right, මේ විදිහට තමයි associative array එක හැදෙන්නේ. Right, so then make a first line එකට කියන table එකේ first row එකට හැදෙනවා මුලින්ම associative එකක්. ඒක හැදෙන්නේ item code associating P1 comma name associating pen. Right, so then it says echo code dot dollar row item code. හරි කොහොමද මම බලන්නම්. right, එතකොට මෙතන මේගොල්ලෝ echo කරන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ code කියලා ලියවෙන්න ඕනේ, code and a colon, then it says dollar row item code. Dollar row item code කියන්නේ item code කියලා තියෙන key එකේ value එක. That means P1. So code colon P1 කියලා තමයි මෙතනට එන්නේ. Right, then this dot indicates to concatenate what? This part / item and a colon. Then dollar row name should be there. So dollar row name means the name. That means pen. Right, so pen is going to be created. That's the first line. And since the output has two lines, P1 and P3, the next line is going to be like this. Code P3 / item colon book. Right, so this is going to be the output of yours. Kovindu ge answer koba. Oh, Kovindu මේක හරි. ඔයාලා මේ හිස්තැන් ගොඩක් තියන්න එපා පුතේ. කෝඩ් එක ළඟ ටිකක් ගොඩක්ම හිස්තැනක් තියන්න යන්න එපා. right, ළඟ තියලා යමු. right, මෙහෙමනේ මේගොල්ලෝ මේ output එක දීලා තියෙන්නේ පේනවද? නිසා පොඩ්ඩක් වගේ තේරුම් අරන් තියෙන්නේ පොඩි අවුලක් තියෙනවා. ඔයා P1 වලට පස්සේ මේ ඇලෙයිර පාවිච්චි කරලා නැහැ. ඇලෙයිර තියෙන්න ඕනේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්. මොකද ඇයි ඇලෙයිරක් තියෙන්නේ? මේ මෙතන තියෙන්නේ /item colon. එතකොට මේ ස්ලෑෂ් එකයි item එකයි colon එකයි ඒ විදිහටම print වෙන්න යනවා. ඒව තුන. right, okay. Right, so that will be the end of the first question. So see how much you got out of 10. Is that clear? Any doubts, everyone? Any doubts regarding this? Okay. Right. Now මට විනාඩියක් දෙන්න. Right. Lamai, sorry. Yes. Right. Okay, Dilaka, no problem. Right, okay. Right. So the second one, it says in an emergency health problem where people have to stay at home for a long period, the situation like this, the shop within the area remain closed to regular business activities. Under such circumstances, the shops within the village or nearby town can help their community by practicing their business through the e-commerce. Considering the above scenario, fill the blanks in the following statement with suitable praise from the given list of praises, right? In the emergency situation, shops follow which kind of business model? It's going to be the brick and click. Right now, they are having their physical shops, and now they are conducting online services as well. So then, click and brick. This is the answer for the first one. Shop must use to allow customers to purchase more than one type of product in a single transaction. Yeah, so in a single transaction, you are going to purchase more than one product. You have to collect those things. So for that, they need a shopping cart. This is the second one. And the e-commerce site for each shop can implement to display their products to the customer. So what they can do is, according to this, it should be the web product catalog, where they where they can give a list of the products to their customers. So in the fourth one, for business owners who cannot use payment gateways through the online fund receipt, and for the customers who do not have any online mode of payments, can still support through cash on delivery, right? It's kind of a practical question. So this is going to be the fourth one. And the fifth one is one of the best way to reduce the overhead cost of the delivery within a local area such as lane, street or housing scheme. So it should be group purchasing. Habai itanda group purchasing කියන එක ළමයි එච්චරම suit වෙන්නේ නැහැ, right? Group purchasing වල තව characteristics තියෙනවා නේද? We do a group purchasing, it is because to take a discount from the particular seller, right? It's a group of people who have the same interest, right? There are some parts which goes tally with this, but there are more into that, right? But මෙතන තියෙන list එකෙන් අපිට group purchasing තමයි, but we can choose as the best, right? So the sixth one, the local shop owners can establish a blank to serve their community better by establishing access to each shop's service through a common portal. So if anyone is going to access each and every shop through a common portal, that is going to be an online marketplace, right? So it's going to be the answer for the sixth one, right? So those are the answers. So here comes the answers. So click and brick, shopping cart for the second one, third one, a web product catalog, and cash on delivery, group purchasing, and the online marketplace. The next one is about the Python question. Now see, they have put some Python questions here, and again, here you are finding something new, right? When මෙතන තියෙනවා ඔයගලන්ට learn කරන්න දෙයක්, ඒක ළමයි නේද කලින් අපිට මේ ගැන දැනුවත් නොකර තමයි මේක දෙන්නේ. ඉතින් එහෙම දුන්නාම පොඩ්ඩක් ඕගොල්ලෝ totally fox වෙනවා, but මේක තියෙන ඉංග්‍රීසි වචන වලින් ඕගලන්ට මේ වැඩේ මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා අල්ල ගන්න පුළුවන්, but it's better you know. Right? So here now we are familiar with this one, neda. ඕක අපි කලින් marking scheme එක කතා කරනකොට කතා කරා, we know what happens here, right? So when they input a list will be split from the space and will be converted into integers from this. That is what is happening, right? So they say write the output for the program if the first input L1 is this and the second input L2 is this. So if the first one is L1, so L1 is going to be something like this, right? 7, 4, 1, 2, 2, 8. It is an integer list. The input taking, it takes this big string. Then from the split one, it's going to split from the space. And from the index, it's going to convert into an integer, right? So the same way, this is going to be 8, 2, 4, 5, 6. Right, so that is L1 and L2. And they have taken L3 as an empty list. So now what they are doing is for I in L1, so I is going to refer the values inside the L1. And for J in L2, J is going to refer the items in L2. Right, so I වලින් එන්නේ I වල L1 එකේ තියෙන item එකක්, J වල එන්නේ L2 වල තියෙන item එකක්. So this says if I equals J. So what they are trying is they are comparing the items of a particular list. And here they have joined another condition using AND clause and I not in L3. Now that means any particular value which defines I, not in means like not inside. Simple as that. Not in L3. That means if that particular item is not inside the L3, then L3.append should do. What append does is it will take a particular value and add it up to the end of a particular list. Then L3 කියන එක නා it's an empty list. එතකොට යා L3.append කිව්වම empty list එක හිමින් පුරවගෙන යනවා. අකට දේවල් එකතු කර කර. කොහොමද ඒක පුරවන්නේ? මේ I වලින් ඒ කියන්නේ L1 වලින් ගන්න item එක. If we take as an example the 7 should be equals to the item that you are taking from L2. එතකොට මේගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ L1 වලින් එක item එකක් අරගෙන මෙතනින් එක item එකක් ගන්නවා. Then after with this loop, it's going to compare each and every item with the L1 item. Or the 4J in L2 කියලා තිබ්බම that iteration will be done by reading the list from start to end. මුලින් ඉඳලා අගට කියවල තමයි මේ iteration එක ඉවර කරන්නේ. කියන්නේ එකකින් එක iteration කියවල. So මුලින්ම 7යි 8යි compare වෙනවා. So they are not equal. Right? Then AND clause එක තියෙනකොට මැද්දේ if the entire condition needs to be true, then only the like both the operands, both the conditions should be true. And එකකින් true කියන එක එළියට එන්න නම් දෙපැත්තින දෙන්නම true වෙන්න ඕන. Right, now here when we compare in 7 and 8, I and J is not true. I equals J is false. So the entire thing is false. So L3.append does not happen. And when we compare 7 එක 8 එක compare වුණාම ඒක සමාන වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Then 7 is compared with 2. ඒකෙත් සමාන වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So fails. Then 7 is compared with 4. මොකද මේ J කියන කෙනා It's going to take the value of 8, 2, 4, as well as 5, then after 6. එයා compare වෙන්නේ මෙයාගේ පළවෙනි item එකත් එක්ක. Right? ඇයි මෙයාව මෙහෙ making එක compare වෙන්නේ? Because he is being the inner part or like the inner loop. ඒක ඉවර වුණාම 7 නැතුව ඊට පස්සේ 4 අරගන්න. 4 අරගෙන ආයෙත් මෙයාවම compare වෙනවා. Right? So 4 ගත්තාම මෙන්න මේ තුන්වෙනි point එකේදී 4 හම්බෙනවනේ. So එතනදී I equals j is become true. I is not in L3. L3 තාම his list එක. ඒක නිසා I not in L3 කියන එකත් හරි. 4 කියන එක නා L3 ගේ නැහැ. එතකොට ඔන්න දෙන්නම okay වෙනවා. That means L3 dot append happens. Right? So L3 is grown with the help of 4. Right? දැන් ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙන්නේ නැති මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා. උඩ තියෙන list එකේ item යට තියෙන list එකේ තියනවද කියලා බලනවා. ඒ වගේම තමයි මේ I not in L3 කියන එකෙන් බලන්නේ ඒ list දෙකේ ඉන්න ඉලක්කම් දෙක සමාන වුණොත් ඒ සමාන වෙන ඉලක්කම L3 එකේ already නැද්ද? තියෙනවා නම් false. නැත්නම් තමයි true වෙන්නේ. එහෙම වුණොත් තමයි conditions දෙකම true වෙන්නේ. 4යි යනකොට ඔය conditions දෙකම true. ඒක නිසා එයාව add වෙනවා. Then after when you have 1 and compare with anything with L2, you won't be finding anything. So nothing happened. If you take 2 and compare it from this point, it will become true. දෙක සමාන වෙනවක් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම L3 I is not in L3. I කියන්නේ ඒ වෙලාවට 2යි. 2 කියන එක නා මේ විදිහට settle වෙනවා. Sorry. My bad. 2 කියන එක මෙතනට එකතු වෙනවා. Then after I දෙකේ එකක් compare වෙනවා. එතකොට I 2යි තියෙනවා කියලා එනවා. මේ condition එක true තැනක් එනවා. But මෙන්න මෙයා false වෙනවා. මොකද I not in L3 නෙමෙයි. Now I in L3. I කියන එක නා L3 වල ඉන්නවා. ඒක නිසා මෙයා false වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා ආයෙසරක් දෙකේ එකක් ලියවෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ 8 compare කරනකොට 8 ඉන්නවා. ඒක නිසා 8 ඔතනට settle වෙනවා. Right? And then it says L3 dot sort. L3 dot sort කියලා කියන්නේ L3 කියන එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන items ටික sort කරන්න පිළිවෙලට හදන්න. So පිළිවෙලට හදන්න කියලා කිව්වම sort වල සාමාන්‍යයෙන් හැදෙන්නේ ආරෝහණ පිළිවෙලට. value එකක් තිබ්බොත් වචන තිබ්බොත් හැදෙන්නේ අකාරාදී පිළිවෙලට from A to Z. So then L3 is modified will be 2, 4 and 8. Right? So then they ask you to print the L3. So the answer is going to be, answer here is 2, 4 and 8. Clear the lamai? Right. Then they have asked, what is the purpose of this? So purpose is what? Compare the two lists, and if anything equals found, and if it is not inside the L3 list, then that particular item is going to append with the list. Right? So that idea should be there. Right? So L1 and L2 make a කියලා තියෙන විදිහට නේද? L1 and L2 is inputted as an integer list, 2 integer list. So if any particular element is there inside the list which represent both the list, they will be added into the L3 and recorded. Right? ඔවුලමයි ඒක ලියන විදිහ ඕකේද? ක්ලියර්ද? පැහැදිලිව ලියන්න එච්චරයි. ඒකට ස්පෙસિෆික් එකක් අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. දැන් අයිඩියා එක ඔළුවේ තියෙනවනේ. So L1 and L3 කියන ලිස්ට් දෙක ඇතුලේ තියෙන items වලින් identical item එකතු කරගන්නවා. ඒක ascending order එකට manage කරලා නැත්නම් sort කරලා පෙන්නනවා. Okay. Is that clear? Any questions regarding that? Okay. So moving forward, the third question. Yeah, they're asking what are the services of the cloud computing, right? State 2 services model in cloud computing. So majorly there are three: IaaS, infrastructure as a service; PaaS, platform as a service; SaaS, service software as a service. And they have given you another one which is called FaaS. It is called function as a service. The marking scheme එක FaaS තියෙන නිසා පොඩ්ඩක් ඕක ගැන ඔළුවේ තියාගන්න. Right? FaaS, function as a service. Right? FaaS කියන එකේ definition එකත් අපි චුට්ටක් බලමු. So FaaS saying is a type of cloud computing service that allows you to execute code in response to event without the complex infrastructure typically associated with building and launching microservices applications. Right? So generally it is allowing us to code and execute and see. Right? Function as a service. Right? So you better remember that. මේ ටික චුට්ටක් ලියාගත්තත් කමක් නෑ ළමයි. Function as a service කියලා තියෙනවා. විනාඩියක් අරන් පොඩ්ඩක් ඒක මෙන්ෂන් කරගන්න ළමයි. ඒක වැදගත් වෙයි ඔයගලන්ට. හරිද ළමයි? Right. Okay. So the next one, what are the 3 steps in the fetch execution cycle of a computer? So it's easy: fetch, decode, execution. Right? That is the fetch execution cycle. Fetch, decode, execution. Right, so only those three words are needed. Fetch the instruction, decode the instruction, and execute the instruction. And here they said if there are any meaningless entries along with the correct ones, reduce maximum 1 mark for the earned total marks. Right? ඒක නිසා ළමයි නේද හිතට එන ඒවා එක එක විදිහට ලියන්න යන්න එපා. Right? So the part D is asking match each of the given sentence 1 to 5 relating to the computer networks with the most suitable item for the list below. A simple and query-based communication model with minimum use of protocols mechanism applied in transport layer. Right? So it is asking about transport layer one. Right? So yeah, so you can go with the UD. Hold on. There are two things that we can go. A simple and query-based communication model, the minimum use of protocol mechanism applied in transport layer. So in transport layer, there are two types of things, TCP and UDP. Yeah, how's the answer has gone? UDP, a simple and query-based communication model with minimum use of protocol mechanism. Yeah, so the only part that we can capture is like the minimum use of protocol mechanism. Right, so the minimum use of protocol mechanism means like nothing much to do so. Like they are not considering about the protocols very much. Right? Yeah, so the yes. Yeah, but they haven't told any connectionless hint there only a simple and query-based communication model with minimum use of protocol mechanism. Yeah, minimum use of protocol mechanism කියන එකෙන් තමයි අපිට වැඩේ පොඩක් අල්ලගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. Right? Otherwise simple කියන වචනේත් අපිට උතන අරගන්න පුළුවන්, but it's better they have described it very well, right? So they have gone for the UDP, minimum use of protocol mechanism කියන එක තමයි උතන strong point එක විදිහට අපිට ගන්න වෙන්නේ. Right? So it is talking about UDP. Transport layer has two specific protocols. It is TCP and UDP both. So the TCP is a connection oriented one. So it has a lot to do with the protocol because they have to work with the guaranteed delivery. Right? But when it comes to the this particular one, it's going to be minimum use of protocols. Right, and yeah, the second one, a protocol for data communication in World Wide Web. Yes, so in data communication in World Wide Web, it is HTTP because www is related with the hypertext markup language or the hypertext documents. So it needs the hypertext transfer protocol to do that communication. So it is HTTP. The layer that defines the addressing and routing structure used for the TCP/IP protocol suite in TCP/IP model. The layer defines the addressing and routing structure, right? So it is called the internet layer, right? And it's better you have the mapping in between OSI and the TCP/IP layer. Right, so Right, so this is the way they have. Oh, why do you want to drive the car, Susu?
Yeah.
Why do you? Okay, sorry for that, people. So the first three things will be considered as the application layer. Transport is transport, but network, it's not actually the network, it is considered as the internet layer. මේගොල්ලෝ මේක network කියලා අරගෙන තියෙනවා. Data link and physical, it is called the network interface, right? So yeah, I'll go with this. This is much better. Right, so the first three layers are called the application layer. Transport is called the transport. Network is called the internet layer.
Daddy.
Data link and physical is called the network interface. Yes, Susu.
No, go take me to the car.
Why do you want to go to the car?
I miss that.
Go and drink some water. I'll come soon, huh? I'll be finishing this soon. Then I will come, huh?
But we have to go to the ice cream.
Okay, we'll do it after.
Or the candy. Let's go to the candy.
Okay, after Tati's class, huh? All right. Right, so මෙතනදී ළමයි ඕක ගොඩ දාගන්න තව ක්‍රමයක් තියෙනවා because internet layer is the only layer that is related to the TCP/IP. මේ උත්තර සෙට් එකේ තියෙන්නේ internet layer කියලා තියෙන එක විතරයි. වෙන එකම layer එකක්වත් transport එකේ ඉන්නවා, but we know that they are not talking about the transport layer. Right, so the answer is going to be the internet layer. So the fourth one, the process of attempting to get sensitive information from someone by pretending as a trustworthy person. So it is called the phishing, right? So this one is the answer. Susu, you'll get ready. I'll come soon, right?
I would like to go alone.
You don't want to go alone. I will come after my class.
But alone.
Okay. So do you want to go alone? No, right? So I will come. Right? You get ready. Okay. Go and get ready. I'll come soon.
Well, I'll stay here for a minute.
Okay. But you can't disturb the people. ළමයි විනාඩියක් ඉන්න ළමයි මගේ පෙන් එක වැඩ කරන්නේ අද කරදර කොට. What is this?
Is it the batteries, Dad?
Yes, it's a battery.
Are they supposed to be for your pen? See if it's gonna work. No, Dad. See how it's gonna work. That's your new pen, Dad. Someone use your new pen.
I will be, hold on. Right, so Lamai, for the fourth one, fishing is going to be the answer, right?
Wow. That one's working, Dad.
Yeah, so this is the fourth one.
Fourth one? Is that the fourth one, Dad?
Yes, Susu.
Really?
Susu, now Tati is getting disturbed. Can you go and settle? I will come
But
now.
I have to wait here today.
Okay. So the last one, it is saying the connection that allows the data transmission at much greater speed and capacity that narrowband services. So it is called the ADSL connection. Right, so this is the answer for the fourth. Right. So here we go. So the answers are going to be like this. First one UDP, second one HTTP, third one internet layer, fourth one phishing, and the fifth one is ADSL. Right, so 5 marks for that paper. So mark it. And the fourth one, make it, learn karana deyak, right? So it will be asked again and again, right? So therefore, just see how it happens. So it says an operating system use process control block to maintain an important information about each process. Read the following scenario and answer the given question. So PL starts a spreadsheet program on a single processor computer to use the budget.xls file that he saved in the day before. He also is running a web browser that he used to check his email. At a particular time, the operating system changes the process state field in the PCB of the spreadsheet process from running to blocked. Give one likely reason for that transition. Right, so we generally know the answer is going to be an input-output weight. Right, so in the marking scheme, you can see.
Can I help you, Dad?
No, Susu. Right, so there are 4 reasons. They have given 4 reasons. So like Excel sheet needs to read a particular file, or Excel process need to write into the file, or Excel sheet or Excel process taking input, or Excel process giving outputs, right? So anything, any particular reason, any particular one reason will give you the chance. Right, so only one reason is enough. Right, even IO weight, yes, that can be also taken on a link. Here they have said IO weight is also correct. Right, and the second one is asking, why is it important to store the value from machine registered when moving from running to ready? So what's the reason? Right, so they're asking like when it is going from running to ready, the value of the machine registered are stored in the PCB of the process. Why it is important? It is important. It will be, that will be used again when the particular process is resuming for the running. And ආයිසරයක් එනකොට කලින් නැවතුන තැන් කලින් හිටියේ කොහොමද කියන එක ගැන දැනගන්න උදව් වෙන නිසා. Right? So it says see, it says Kriyani Navatarambana Vitakan, like when they are resuming to the process, it can start from the place where it has stopped. Right, so for indicating that the process is going to be restart or like continue from the place where it is being stopped. And to recognize that detail is going to give you the next mark. Right? Okay, is that clear, everyone? Is it clear? Yes. Kovidu, yeah, IO weight can be taken. Yes, can be given the marks. Kovidu, you can have 2 marks. Right? Okay. And the next question was kind of a confusing one. Right? Lazy. The block size of a disk is 4 KB. A portion of the file allocation table starting from block 300 at a particular time is shown below. It gives the blocks of maximum.py file as well. Right? And there is a note that is the important one. The last block of the file is indicated by -1. Right? So that means with that instruction, the information, we can recognize, okay, -1, that gives you the last block. That means 304 is the last block of this file. If 304 is the last block, who set to be then? Apita metana block ekata enna tiyena than like 304 කියන්නේ last block එක නම් 304 ගාවට එන්න කියලා instruction එක තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මෙතන. ඒ කියන්නේ 303 කියන block එකේ. එතනට එන්න කියන instruction එක තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මෙතන. 300th block එකේ. 300 ගාවට එන්න කියලා තියෙන instruction එක තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මෙතන. 301 block එකේ. Right? So they're asking, write down the value of an important number that will be stored in directory entry of maximum.py file that will help an operating system to locate the blocks in that file. So how the operating system is going to start reading this file? It should be set the very first block to be read. මුලින්ම කියවන්න ඕන block එක කියන්න ඕන. ඉතින් මුලින්ම කියවන්න ඕන block එක තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. නේද? OS එකට මුලින්ම 301 කියවන්න කිව්වනම් at the end of it they know it needs to be moved to the 300th block. එතකොට මෙතනට යනවා. They need to read this. Then it is asked to move to the 303rd one. Then it moves to 303rd. It will read after the content. There will be indicating the 304. Goes to the 304 and read the contents, and it finds -1. That means it understand, okay, this is the end of the file. Right? So the directory entry, okay, තියෙන important file block එක වෙන්නේ it's 301. People, is that clear? Right? එතකොට අපි argue කරගෙන ගියේ -1 කියන point එකේ ඉඳගෙන. මෙතනින් ඉඳගෙන -1 ගින්දලා තමයි උඩහට බැලුවේ මෙයා කොතනින්ද පටන් ගන්න කියලා. Right? Now this is kind of a linked allocation one. Linked allocation එකේනේ block එක අවසානයේ indicate කරලා තියෙන ඊළඟට යන්න ඕන block එක මොකක්ද කියලා. Right? So this, the numbers inside the block is kind of a pointer. මොන pointer එකටද යන්න ඕනේ කියලා. මේ පැත්තේ තියෙන්නේ එක එක block එකට අදාළව එයාගේ address එක. तर මේ block එකක් ඇතුලේ කියලා තියෙනවා ඊළඟට move වෙන්න ඕන block එක මොකක්ද කියලා. Yeah, people, is that clear? Right. Okay. So the second one says, assume that the additional improvement are made to the maximum.py file that results AT's size become 20 KB. What changes are needed in the fact for this purpose? Now in the question they says, the block size of a disk is 4 KB. So that means this one particular box or a block has a size of 4 KB. So for the moment, it has 4 blocks. So that means altogether, how big it is? It is big as 16 KB for the moment. And the 4 KB fill. So for the moment, the size of the file is 16 KB. So now they says it is becoming 20 KB. That means it's need to use this block as well. So what are the changes to be made? The block number 304 should indicate now 302 inside that block. 304 volt passe 302 volt move and down. So inside the 302, there should be -1. Right? So those are the changes to be happen. So it says the content of the 304 should change to 302, and the content of the 302 will be changed into -1. Right? Some idea which recognize that. You can say inside the 300, inside the block number 304, 302 is recorded. Then inside the block number 302, -1 will be recorded. Right? කොවිදු ඒකටත් උත්තරේ වල තිබ්බද? ඔව්. කොවිදු ආ ජෙනරල් ආන්සර් එකක් දීලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක අර වගේ ස්පෙસિෆික් වෙන්න ඕනේ. කොවිදු ක්ලියර් දෙක? Right. Okay, then the next one, this particular one, assume that we have computer that can use 16-bit virtual address from 0 up to 64K, right? So 16-bit virtual addresses, so the size of the virtual address is 16-bit long. So it will indicate from 0 to 64K, right? So which is obvious, right? At ගන්න පුළුවන් පුංචිම address එක 0, and it can address 64K blocks. 64 වැඩි කිරීම 1024ක් වෙන blocks set එකක් යට address කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? කියන්නේ bytes set එකක් address කරන්න පුළුවන්. 16 කියලා කියන්නේ 2 to the power 16 no. So like if the address is 16, the size of the memory is 2 to the power 16 in bytes. Right, so this means 2 to the power 6 kilobytes, right? So the next line says 2 to the power 6 can 64 KB. So the size of the virtual memory or the logical memory is going to be 64 KB, right? And it says, assume further that this computer has only 32 KB physical memory. The virtual memory is 64 KB lokui. Physical memory is 32 KB tamai loku. So physical memory is smaller compared to the virtual memory. And the page size in this computer is 4 KB. Page size is 4 KB. So the page size equals to 4 KB. So the first question is, the above 16-bit virtual address is made up to the bits of the page number followed by offset bits. Right? Page number and offset address. How many bits in the address are required to store a page number in this computer? Right? So we know it is 16-bit long. The entire address is 16-bit long. That means we can put 16 ones and zeros inside this address. So they're asking like how many bits are needed to show the page number. So to find this, either you should find number of pages and then you can take it as a 2 to the power, then recognize how many bits are needed to indicate the page number. Or else you can find the number of bits in the offset and you can subtract it from the 16, then you will find page number. Approaches දෙකෙන්ම යන්න පුළුවන් lazy approach එක වෙන්නේ මේ page size එක 4KB කියලා දීලා තියෙන නිසා we can take page size is 4KB, so 2 to the power offset bits equals 4KB here. Right, so why it is equals to 4KB? It is because that's the equation. Page size is equals to 2 to the power offset bits. So it is 4 KB. Now 4 KB means what? 2 to the power 2 into 2 to the power 10 bytes. That means 2 to the power 12 bytes. Therefore, we can say offset bits equals to 12. I'm sorry, 12, not bytes. Offset bits are equals to 12. Unit bits offset bit it's 12 bits. So out of these 16 bits, here now they have 12 bits. So that means clearly this is 4-bit big page number. Right? Oka clear the lamai. Olamai. Right. So the second part it is asking, user runs a particular program having a size of 32 KB on this computer. A few selected fields on the page table of that process at a particular time are shown in the figure below. So the same things are given like we find it in the 2019 paper. The frame number is indicated in binary. The virtual addresses on page 0 are from 0 to 4095 and on page 1 are from 4096 to 8191. So it's the same story. So what does it mean? There is these pages. The very first address for the very first block is the 0th block, and the very last block of the first page is 4196. Sorry, 4095. So the second page, that means the first page, actually this is the 0th page. This is the first page. So the first block has the address of 4096. So this block is 8191. Right, so likewise. And the present absent bit indicates the validity of the entry. If this bit is 1, the entry is valid and can be used. If it is 0, then the relevant virtual page is not in the physical memory, right? So එක වැටලා තියෙන තැන්වල තියෙන අය already physical memory එකේ ඉන්නවා. 0 වැටලා තියෙන කට්ටිය තාම physical memory එකට ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ. right? එතකොට ඒක එන්නේ නැති වෙන්නේ කියන්නේ physical memory එකේ හොයාගන්න නැහැ. So there can be two reasons. Either it is that particular page is done and has removed, or else it is still in the virtual memory or the logical memory are not being taken into the RAM at any point. Right, so then they say, assume that in the above process, virtual address, this particular virtual address is wanted. The above virtual address is mapped into the physical address, this particular one. Explain it. So you can easily explain this because the physical address, the logical address, it has 4 bits for the page number, right? So this is the page number, and this particular part is the offset, right? And we know the offset is never going to change when the mapping happens. Right, so offset will be offset always. So this is the page number, since it is the physical address. And this should be the frame number, since it is the physical address. So we know during the mapping, what is happening is they remove the page number part and fix a frame number onto it, right? So that is what you have to write over here, right? So in the marking scheme, you can see, so like this particular address will define the page number as 3, or like the page number as 0011, and the offset as 4 zeros, 4 zeros, 2 zeros, and 1 zero. And that particular page will be mapped into the frame 110, right? Has been mapped to the frame which has 110. So because of that, that virtual address is made or mapped as 110, 4 zeros, 4 zeros, and 2010. Is that clear, everyone? කොහොමද ඒක ලියන්නේ කියලා? Is it clear, people? දැන් ඔය වගේ එකක් අනිවාර්යෙන් ඔයගලන්ගේ පේපර් එකේ එයි. මොකද 19 and 20 papers got that. Yes, ළමයි ඒක clearද? Okay. Right. The third part, it is asking, assume that there was a request for the virtual address 3 zeros and 1, and rest of the things are zeros. Right? Due to the set of tasks that the operating system initiate to fulfill that request, මේ උඩ කියන request එක fulfill කරන්න මේ වැඩේ කරන්නේ, the present absent bit of the page number 6 in the above page table change from 1 to 0. So ඔහොම දෙයක් කියලා තියෙනකොටම අපේ ඔළුවට එන්න ඕනේ this is happening to fulfill the request, right? So that means, in other words, what they are trying to say is this particular page is going to map with this particular frame, which is the corresponding frame on the page number 6, right? එතකොට page number 6 කියන එක තියෙන්නේ මෙතනනේ. එයාට corresponding frame එක තමයි දැන් release වෙන්නේ. මෙයා 10 වෙච්ච නිසා. That means this frame is available. So that particular frame number can be used. So this is the page number of this particular address, right? So if you are going to map this particular one into a physical address, මෙයා වෙනුවෙන් change වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ වැඩේ කරන්න respond කරලා තියෙන්නේ 6th page එකට against තිබ්බ present absent bit එක 0 වෙලා. ඒ කියන්නේ එයා relate කරගෙන හිටපු frame එක දැන් free 111 කියන එක free. So what you can do is you can take out the 0001, you can write the 111 as the frame number, and the offset is not going to change. Is that clear, people? මෙහෙම scenario එක කියලා තියෙනකොට මේක ගැන consider වෙන්න ඕනේ. Yes, everyone? Is that clear for you all? Right. Okay. Yes, so that ends the structured paper. Then we'll move to the essay paper quickly. Right. Okay, I think first one is done by everyone, and only I think you have sent me some answer last day, though I couldn't go through. Right, I'll answer your question in the same place, though. Right, so yeah, so this is the output for the circuit. The circuit එක output එක දාන්නකොට ඔයාට අර ලොකු ටේබල් එකක් ඇඳලා තමයි output එක අරගෙන ඒක පොඩි එකට අඩු කරගන්න වෙන්නේ. නැත්නම් combination එකෙන් combination එකදී output එක කීයද කියලා බලන්න ඕනේ. right, ලොකු ටේබල් එකක් ඇඳලා පොඩි කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ නේද? මෙතනට එනකොට එන්නේ a plus b, මෙතනත් එන්නේ b plus c. Right, so the z is going to be a plus b dot b plus c dot c. Right, that's going to be z. So either you can simplify this expression and try to draw the output accordingly, or you can make the truth table saying that you are taking ABC as the inputs, and then you create these a plus b, b plus c, right? Then you fill this according to these places, right? Then you go with this particular stuff about multiplication to find out the final result, which is indicated by z. Right, any particular way is correct. So the input is this ABC, output column is this. So according to that, you can have the marks, which gives you 4 marks. Right, just see whether it is okay. Right, so then the K-map. So simplified SOP, have they specifically said to take the SOP? Yes, they have. So they are saying take an SOP using K-map. So you can draw the K-map. K-map can be different people, right? Or මෙතන ගන්න combination වලට අනුව your K-map can be differ, but the final answer should be a same one. AC plus BC. right? So if it all corrects, you will be given 4 marks. Right? So the next one is to take the particular answer from the POS. So this is the POS answer. Now, yeah, only let me go through about your answer here. Yeah. Hold on. මෙතන දුව පොට්ටක් අවුල්ලා තියෙනවා. කොහොමද 000111110. ඔනෙලි එතන පුතේ දුවගේ ප්ලොට් වෙලා තියෙන වන්ස් ටික නෑ ඔනෙලි මෙතන ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා දුව. I think you have taken only 3 zeros නේද? There are 5 zeros in the truth table duව. Only එතන clear. That means we are taking the same truth table duව. Yeah, දුව දැන් දුවට මේක clear නේ. SOP එක ගන්න අප එක clear නේ. So you can consider the same table duව. Don't change the plotting. දුව C එකට වෙනම මොකක් හරි plot කිරීමක් කරලා තියෙනවා. දැන් දුවගේ B part එකේ තියෙන K map එක මේක නේද දුව? Right. එතකොට ඕකම තමයි දුව POS එක ගන්න පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So what you can do is you can take these 4 together and these 2 together. It's the same K-map. K-map is not going to change. But change කරලා අඳින්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රමයක් තියෙනවා. ඒක ටිකක් පැටලෙනවා. එතකොට මේක 0 0 නෙවෙයි මේක 0 plus 0 කියලා එන විදිහකට අඳ ගන්න ඕනේ. Right? ඒක ටිකක් කරදරකාරයි. එතකොට මෙතනින් තමයි දුව ගන්න ඕනේ. So this indicates C, making indicate when C bar ne? This 0 no? So this 0 means C bar. So we write it as C. Yes. For any expression, it is the same way. Right? එතකොට ඕගලන්ට POS එකක් දීලා plot කරන්න කිව්වොත් POS එක plot කරගන්න ඕනේ K-map එක මේ SOP එක විදියට ඇඳලා accordingly plot කරගන්න ඕනේ. Right? එතකොට කියන්නේ ඕගලන්ට කිව්වොත් A plus B dot A bar plus B ව plot කරන්න කියලා. So you are creating the K-map which is A and B. Here you know like A and A bar and B bar will be there. So if you want to plot A and B, this indicates what? A and B කියන එක K-map එකේ indicate කරන්නේ A bar dot B bar කියන cell එක. This indicates A dot B bar කියන cell එක. So A bar dot B bar තියෙන තැනට තමයි 0 වැටෙන්නේ. A dot B bar තියෙන තැනට තමයි 0 වැටෙන්නේ. Clear Donnelly? Right. Okay. Then you are going to receive the same answer. Then make a POS එක ලිව්වම එන්නේ C dot what? මේ 0 0 කියන එක නම් මේ combination එකනේ හරියන්නේ 0 0 කියන්නේ A bar dot B bar. So that means A plus B. Right? මේ කියන්නේ මෙයාමනේ. Okay. වරහන් සුළු කරාම C dot A plus C dot B. Right? So the same thing. Right? So the same answer should receive. Okay. Is that clear, Onali? Okay, great. All right. So moving forward. So in the part D, they are asking like to create a particular circuit, what should be the more suitable expression, right? Even though both the things are given you the same output, the simplified POS is much better. මොකද එයාගෙන් ඕන වෙන්නේ අපිට gates දෙකයි, O gate එකයි AND gate එකයි තිබ්බනම් ඇඳ ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right, Komidu. Okay. Right. So this will be much better. Sorry, this will be much better. මෙයාට ඕන වෙනවා AND gates දෙකකුයි. මේක AND, මේකත් AND. And it needs an OR gate. So for this, it needs 3 gates. Right. So for saying that, you will be given 3 marks. Clear the Lamayatana? Right. So that will be all regarding the first question. Yes. 6th එක කරාද? දැන් ඉන්නේ ඔනෙලි සසිතුයි විතරයි. මොකද අනික් කට්ටිය දීලකයි කොවිදුයි මගෙන් අහගත්ත දේවල් ටික කලින්. So you two are there. If you have done the 6th, I can discuss the 6th. Okay, Sasit, do you want to discuss the 6th question? Sasit? Sasit, okay means do you want to discuss it or not? You want to discuss it? Okay. Right. So the first thing that they are asking is consider the following scenario. So they have given a scenario regarding a company which has 4 departments: finance, marketing, human resource, and the IT unit is proposed, right? So they are saying like this much of computers and this much of printers will be there, right? And some server software is also there, right? So so they said they are going to consider about these things: a local area network for each department, and the IT unit is ordered to share specific software and resources. LANs in each department to be interconnected via IT unit. all computers to be given efficient internet connectivity with the help of DNS and the proxy server, right? And then it says an internet service provider to supply the internet connectivity to the IT unit, the entire network to be protected through a firewall. So the part A is asked which network topology is the most suitable to satisfy all the above mentioned requirement. So network topology is going to be the star topology, right? So that is how we are going to create a particular network, right? By connecting things through a switch or a hub, right? So it is going to be the star topology. So for saying star topology, you are given with one particular mark, and they are asking for the reason. So you can say no data collision can occur, or like minimum data collision, due to minimum data collision, or can be managed easily, can be detect errors easily, right? And it is more reliable, some kind of a reason, right? Then they are asking you to fill the table. Sasit, the calculation එක කරාද?
ඔව් සර්.
right. සසිත් එතකොට පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න ඔයාගේ calculation එක මේ විදිහට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවද කියලා. calculation එක
ඔව්.
okay. okay. මම brief කරන්න ඕනේද මේක කොහොමද එන්නේ කියලා? clearද? නැත්නම්?
ඔව්. clear.
clear. brief කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේද?
නෑ සර්.
all right. okay, great. එතකොට ඔය ටික මාක් කරගන්න ඔය විදිහට තමයි එතකොට settlement එක එන්න ඕනේ. ඒකට marks, there are 6 marks for that. Right? And network diagram maker, it should be like this, Sasit. Right? So make a මෙන්න මෙතන පොඩ්ඩක් network diagram වල පොඩි දෙයක් ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ go through කරලා තියෙනවා. දැන් computers ගන්න අඳිනකොට, right? මේකේ මේගොල්ලෝ කියලා තියෙන්නේ මෙහෙම දෙයක් නේ. finance එකට 28 computers තියෙනවා. so finance එක අඳිනවා නම් we need a switch, and computers 28 කියන එක ඒගොල්ලෝ පෙන්නලා තියෙනවා. PC1, then PC2, then PC28. ඔන්න ඔය විදිහට තමයි PCs 28ක් තියෙනවා කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ පෙන්නලා තියෙන්නේ. පොඩ්ඩක් ඒක හුරු වෙන්න. අර අපි කරේ dots දාපු එකනේ, dot එක දාන්න යන්න එපා. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක recommend කරලා නැහැ දැන් marking scheme එකේ. right? ඊළඟට මේ දැන් ඔය computers 28යි මේ network printer කියලා එකක් කියලා තියෙනවානේ. network printer කියලා තියෙනවා නම් printer එක කෙලින්ම switch එකට connect කරන්න ඕනේ. network printer නැති ඒවා මේ මෙතන මේ IT unit එකේ නිකම් printer එකක් කියලා තියෙනවානේ. ඒව නිකම් මේ කැමැති PC එකකට connect කරලායි පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ. so ඕක පොඩ්ඩක් මතක තියාගන්න. right? network printer එක අඳින්නේ කොහොමද, normal printer එකක් අඳින්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක. ඒක ඒගොල්ලෝ marking scheme එකේ practice කරලා තියෙන දෙයක් නේ. right? then after they say like software servers තියෙනවා කියලා තියෙනවා. so it is one of these computers. then if you take finance has 28 computers, and AIS is one of those computers. so ඒක නිසා normal computers තියෙන්නේ 27යි උතන. එතකොට මෙතන එන්න ඕනේ PC1, PC2 and PC27. then AIS කියන එක වෙනම computer එකක් විදියට ඇඳලා පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ. right? So if the finance department, it goes like this, right? ඊට පස්සේ මෙයා මේ පැත්තෙන් IT department එකේ switch එකට තමයි connect වෙන්නේ. So ඒ switch එක කොහොමත් layer 3 switch එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ, but marking scheme එකේ ඒක ලොකුවට recognize කරලා නැහැ. නිකම්ම switch කියලා දාලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? So මෙයාව අපි කොහොම කඩීරි වලින් finance network කියලා දුන්නා නම් හරි. නැත්නම් finance department කියලා දුන්නත් හරි. Right? Right? ඔය විදිහට ගත්තම සසිත් ඊට පස්සේ HR department එකේ 40 computers තියෙනවා කියලා තියෙනවා. So you should have a switch and it has a network printer. Then PC1, PC2, PC39. So another one is there as HRIS. Right? So network printer, 40 PCs, and HRIS is one of those. Right? ඊළඟට IT unit එකේ 50 තියෙනවා කියනවා, marketing එකේ 35. So marketing එකේ there is a switch, PC1, PC2, PC39, 40 39, 35, no, 35, I mean 34, ඊට පස්සේ තියෙනවා MKIS. Right? And IT switch එකේ තියෙනවා PC1, PC2, PC49, and LMS. Right? එතකොට මෙතනම තමයි DNS එක තියෙන්නේ. and a proxy. ඒ දෙන්න වෙනම පෙන්වන්න ඕනේ. right, මම proxy එක පොඩ්ඩක් මේ උඩට වෙන්න දෙන්නම්. Right, so this switch, the IT department is the one which is connecting to the firewall. Firewall is connected with the router. Router is connected with the internet. අපිට firewall එක කෙලින්ම switch එකට connect කරන්න නැතුව ඕනනම් proxy එකේ ඉඳලා firewall එකට connection එකක් ගේන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට in between switch and firewall there won't be a connection. Right? එතකොට සසිත් ඔයාගේ diagram එක ඔය විදිහට ඇඳෙන්න ඕනේ. ඇඳිලා මේ එක එක department එකෙන් department එක මොකක්ද කියන එක හරියට indicate වෙන්න ඕනේ. Clear the Sasit?
Also,
Right. එතකොට ඒ විදිහට තමයි මේගොල්ලෝ ඒ කතා බහ ගෙනහිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. Oh. බලමු මොනවා හරි විශේෂ දෙයක් තියෙනවද කියලා. ඔව්. ඊට පස්සේ අන්තිමට අහලා තියෙනවා අපිට කියනකොට මේගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ මාකින් ස්කීම් එකේ එක තැනක 49 තියෙනවා අනිත් එකේ 40 තියෙනවා. ඒක එච්චර හොඳ විදිහක් නෑ. මෙතන 28 මෙතන 35 40 50 කියලා දාලා වෙනම දාලා තියෙනවා. මම ඉන්න පොඩ්ඩක් yes මේ විදිහට තමයි ගිහිලා තිබුණේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන දැන් මේගොල්ලෝ 27 වලට නෙවෙයි මාක් කරලා තියෙන්නේ මෙතන ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා සසිත් මම එක මේ ආයි පොඩ්ඩක් ඒ කියන්නේ මේ නම්බරින් වෙන විදිය පොඩ්ඩක් බලලම මම කන්ෆර්ම් කරන්න බද මේක ඒගොල්ලෝ කියලා තිබුණේ එහෙම බට් මාකින් ස්කීම් එක ගිහිලා තියෙන්නේ විදිහ දෙකකට මේක නම් 450 40 28 35 පාවිච්චි කරලා අර LMS AUS ඒ ටික වෙනම එල්ලලා තියෙන්නේ කමක් නැහැ සසිත් ඒ විදිහට හුරු වෙන්න right එහෙම වුණොත් පුතේ මෙතන ඔයාට total number එක දාන්න වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේක 28 වෙන්න ඕනේ. right මේක 40. එතකොට HRIS එක වෙනම දාලා තියෙන්නේ. AIS එක වෙනම දාලා තියෙන්නේ. මෙතනත් 50 not 49. LMS එක වෙනම දාලා තියෙන්නේ. මෙතනත් 35. MKIS එක වෙනම දාලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් go through කරන්න සසෙත් okay so in the final one they are asking network administrator decide to dynamically manage the IP address of the entire network write down the mechanism that needs to be implemented achieve this task yes so what we have to do we have to connect a DHCP server simple as that right so connecting a DHCP server and it has the ability to provide the IP addresses dynamic in a dynamical manner right so the answer is going to be that DHCP providing the IP address or providing assigning the IP addresses through a DHCP server. That is going to be the answer. Right. Okay. Sasit clear the?
Oh, sir.
Right. Seventh one. Oneli, have you done the seventh? No, not the seventh one. Sasit?
No.
No. Okay, so I'm skipping the 7th. 8th. Yes, 8th one. Okay. Right. So in the eighth one, they are saying construct a flowchart or pseudocode to output the list of even numbers from given n1 and n2. Right. So eighth question එකේ කියලා තියෙන්නේ නේද? n1 and n2 කියලා numbers දෙකක් දෙනවා. ඒකේ කියලා තියෙනවා n1 කියන එක පොඩි n2 ට වඩා කියලා consider කරන්න කියලා. Then they say like if you are given two positive integers n1 and n2 inputs and you have to output the list of even numbers between n1 and n2. Right. Okay. Only I received your flow chart. Let me see. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. I equals n1 plus 1. Yes. දුව එතන I equals n1 plus 1 කියලා එකක් ඔයා අරගත්තේ ඇයි? Right. වටිනකමට වඩා එකක් වැඩි තැන. Between නිසාද? Okay. Okay. But I were හරි කමක් නැහැ. අපි බලමුකෝ මොඩල් ආන්සර් එකට යන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා එතන. ඒගොල්ලෝ n1 equals n1 plus 1 උතන 1 mark දෙනවා. දුවට පුතා උතන එකක් එකතු කරන්නේ නැතුව ගියත් ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. Can like from n1 to n2 කියලානේ අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. මේගොල්ලෝ හැබැයි n1 minus 1 එකයි n2 minus 1 එකකුත් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. එහෙම ගියා කියලාත් ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. අපිට දකින්න දුව මෙතන මේගොල්ලෝ කියලා තියෙනවා the output list may exclude both n1 and n2 as well කියලා තියෙනවා. So it doesn't matter. එතකොට දුව I කියන එක්කෙනාට n1 plus 1 කියලා කරගත්ත කියලා ගැටලුවක් නැහැ එතන. Yes. Yes, so you are checking whether I is equals to n2. Yes, it's saying no. Then the remainder is checked. If it is yes, you are going to output I. Okay. All right. Then I equals I plus 1. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Yes, yes, Dua. That's correct. That's correct, Dua. You can take full marks for that. Saset, ata karlada tiyenne?
No, sir.
No, ne? Hari, right. Right. Only එතකොට 8 එක okay. Flow chart එක. So you can have full marks. Consider the flow chart given below. Assume that L is a list of positive integers, K is a positive integer, and every element in L is less than M, which is larger integer. Yes, okay. So what would be the output if the first input L was 247,935 and the next input K was 5? Yes, the may algorithm make only figure out කරගත්තද ඒ කියන්නේ list එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන kට වඩා ලොකු කුඩාම සංඛ්‍යාව හොයාගන්න. right අපි k කියලා value එකක් දුන්නොත් එයාට වඩා විශාල වෙන සංඛ්‍යා set එකේ the smallest one is going to be figured out. Right? Okay, all right. Okay, yes, 7 is correct. To output the number of the list which is greater than k, but less than x cubed අවුලක් වෙනවද? x කියන කෙනා අපි මුලින්ම ගන්නේ ලොකුම value එක විදිහටනේ. තේරෙනවද? x කියන කෙනා පස්සේ change වෙනවා. මේ points වලදී වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඒක ඔයාලට දැන් අර උඩ ආපු output එකෙන් figure out කරගන්න පුළුවන් දුව. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ උඩ ආපු output එකෙන් right උඩ තියෙන output එකේ තියෙන්නේ 247,935 දුන්නම output වෙන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලානේ k විදියට දෙන්නේ 5. So if k is 5, අන්තිම ටික වෙන්න. නෑ ළමයි. right දුව මෙතන අල්ල ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ number list එකෙන් අපිට k වලට හොයන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ මෙයාවනේ k වලට දුන්නේ 5 නේ so then ඔයාගේ output එක වෙන්නේ 7 right එතකොට 7 output එක වෙනකොට එන්නේ k වලට වඩා ලොකු k වලට වඩා ලොකු කට්ටිය ඉන්නවනේ 7 and 9 කියලා දෙන්නෙක් ඉන්නවනේ. එතකොට ඒ ලොකු දෙන්නගෙන් පුංචි මෙක්කෙනා එන්නේ. clear දොනලි. එතකොට ඕක තමයි algorithm output එක වෙන්න ඕනේ. right එතකොට දුව ලියලා තියෙන විදිහට x ට වඩා අඩු k ට වඩා වැඩි කියනවනේ. එතකොට x කියන කෙනා එක එක තැන්වලදී එක එක විදිහට මාරු වෙනවා. මුලින්ම ලොකු වගයක් then after it become හිමින් හිමින් එයාගේ value එක හිමින් අඩු කරනවා. එහෙමනම් මම මේක ලිව්වනම් හරි which is greater than k but less than the final value of x කියලා ලියවුණා නම් හරි. x ගේ අන්තිම value එකට වඩා අඩු කියලා. එතකොට x ගේ අන්තිම value එක වෙන්නේ 9. 9ටත් අඩු එක්කෙනා තමයි එතකොට තෝරගන්නේ 7 කියලා. තේරුණාද? Right, so I'll take a look at the program. L is input, okay, list of numbers, right, okay, num list. Yes, very good. හරි ඒක පාවිච්චි කරා නම් එක සැරේම number list එක ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන් කරලා good. Okay, එකට input number එක අරන් තියෙනවා, len num list එක අරන් තියෙනවා good. n equal x, okay. While a less than n, yes, if num list a larger than k, if num list a less than x, then num list a equals x. Yes, yes. Yes, okay. Num list A. Okay. Yes. Right. Okay. Okay. හරි. එතකොට දුවගේ සොලියුෂන් එකට ලකුණු දෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේගොල්ලෝ මේ උඩම තියෙන ඔව් අපිට කියනවා yes, yes. Right, okay. Hari. Yes, Hari do Hari. You can take full marks for this. That's great. On Ellie, yes, you can take full marks for that. Right. Okay, ninth one. Right. So in the ninth one, it's the ER diagram. So they have given a simple scenario in between a player and the game and the clubs, right? So it says there is something called club. So they say there is club, which is uniquely identified by its name. And hold on, and the consider following description: players attached to different sport clubs. එතන තියෙනවා relationship එකක්. Players attached to different sport clubs, and there is this player, an entity, always belongs to the sport club. He or she can be identified uniquely by the NIC. So NIC is the attribute of a player. Further, player has name which consists of a surname and initial. So name, එක දෙකකට කඩලා තියෙනවා for the very first time, surname and initial. So composite attribute එකක් එනවා. A club which is uniquely identified by its name can have many players. A player can play games. Each game in this context is given a unique code. So game has a unique code. and description, a player can play more than one game and each game is played by at least one player. Right, so first thing is they're asking you to draw the ER diagram. So the ER diagram should be like this. මේගොල්ලෝ ඇඳලා දීලා තියෙන්නේ අර දෙකේ තුන parts වලට අදාළව තියෙන ER එක. So first you should have the parts. මේක තමයි ER එක වෙන්නේ. Right, so ඒකේ first part එකේ මේ sponsor part එක නැතුව, right, ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ටික නැතුව අනිත් ටික තියෙන්න ඕන. ඒකයි යමයක් නැති වෙන්න ඕන. මෙයා ගැනත් පස්සේ කියන්නේ. Right, so sport club should be there, player should be there, game should be there. Right, so sport club should have the primary key name, game should have the key attribute code and the description. Code එක underline වෙන්න ඕනේ, name එක underline වෙන්න ඕනේ. Then the player should have NIC එක underline වෙන්න ඕනේ. player ගේ name එක මේ විදිහට දෙකට බෙදලා පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ, initials and surname කියලා. Right, ඒ ටික clear ද ළමයි? Only Saset, clear the?
Oh, sir.
Right. Then after, in the second one, it says extend the ER diagram in above to include the number of hours played by each player for each game. එතනටම තමයි මෙන්න මේ මෙතන තියෙන කෙනා නේද? මෙන්න මේ සෙට් එක එන්න ඕන වෙන්නේ. right, ඊට පස්සේ third එකේ කියලා තියෙනවා මේ player කෙනෙකුට sponsor කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා, sponsor වඳුන ගන්න එයාගේ title එකෙන් කියලා. Right, so that part should be connect later. Right, so it's the only only one in ER diagram will be drawn. Right, මුලදී මේ කහ පාටින් නැති ටික ඇඳිලා ඊට පස්සේ තමයි second and third විදියට මේ ටික add වෙන්න ඕන. So watch for the correct cardinality, right, and the entity name and the attributes that they have given. Right, එතකොට ඕකෝ ඒ විදිහට ඇඳිලා තියෙනවා නම් you can take the total is going to be 10 marks. Clear the ER එක ළමයි? Aneli? Right. Okay, so moving to the B part, right? They are asking about the SQL statement with respect to the given particular diagram. Right, so it says the winner table gives below contains the details of the player, one different matches and medals. There is a fixed amount of prize money given to each medal type. A gold medal has 20,000, silver medal has 10,000, and bronze medal has 5,000. So from here, we can recognize that medal price is depends on the medal type. Right, ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයා මත depend වෙනවා කියන එක. Right, so winner table And it says the primary key of the winner table as NIC and match ID. Can me then tamai primary key. Right? And it is asking write an SQL statement to display the number of players who won the gold medals. So number of players gonna count ki aggregate function ekone. So because of that, they have take select count asterisk is taken. So you can give any particular column name if you want. Doesn't matter. Count when ione. From the winner where medal type equals gold. Because the gold medal got the count. Right? So count within brackets, either a column name or a star should be there. From winner where medal type equals gold. Right? So on any brackets, can count without brackets, you have said star. Nathang select asterisk විතරද දුව. එතන ගැටලුවක් වෙනවා දුව. select count කිව්වම දුව අපි field එකක් හරි star එක හරි දෙන්න ඕනේ පුතේ brackets දෙක ඇතුලේ, otherwise they are not going to have that. Right? Otherwise you are going to lose the marks. Clear the door. මොකද aggregate function එකක් නිතරම function එකක bracket දෙක ඇතුලේ තමයි specify කරන්නේ මොකකටද අපි function එක apply කරන්න කියන එක. දුවට ER එක clear නේද? දුව මට photo එකක් එවලා තියෙනවා. ඒක දේවල් ටික clear නේද? දුව ඒක clear කරගන්න මොකුත් නැහැ නේ විශේෂයෙන්. Right. And they have said semicolon is not essential for credits කියලා දිනනවා ලකුණු දෙන්න, but it's better you put the semicolon. Right? Then after they ask, in which normal form does the above table exist? Right? So you can say either the second normal form or first normal form and second normal form. Then you can do the classification. මෙතන මේගොල්ලෝ minimum දේවල් ටික දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? All the non-key attributes are fully depends on the key attributes. කියන එක තමයි මෙතනදී point එක විදිහට අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. But ඕගොල්ලෝක ලියනකොට answer එක fully ලියන එක හොඳයි. Right? So you can say no unwanted repetition of columns, or and all the data is in the atomic way. So the first normal form qualifies, and all the non-primary key attributes depends on the primary key attributes. So second normal form qualified. And since the price depends on the medal type, transitive dependency is there. Therefore, it is not in the third normal form. So, or else you have to say it is not qualified into the third normal form. එහෙම ලිව්වනම් උත්තරේ fully completed ආයි කොහෙවත් argue කරන්න බෑ ඒගොල්ලන්ට. clear ද ළමයි? Right, then they are asking you to convert the table into the next normal form. So it is easy. The winner table should have NIC, match ID, and medal type. Medal type is going to be the foreign key. And the medal table should have medal type, price. Medal type is going to become the primary key. And that primary key will be a foreign key in the winners table. So 2 marks are given for that clarification. Right, like 1 mark for each schema, A and B. Right. So let's conclude the ER diagram. Clear the lamai එක දේවල් ටික? Okay. How about the 10th? All right. So the 10th one, සසිත් 10th එක කළාද? ඔනලි බලන්න මේ ඕකේද කියලා. නැත්නම් දුව මට ආන්සර් එක එවන්න මම එතකොට බලන්නම් කොහොමද ගිහිලා තියෙන්නේ. සසිත් කරාද? right, okay, හරි. මට එහෙනම් පොඩ්ඩක් කරලා බලලා මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්න තිබ්බොත් සසිත් කියන්න.
හරි sir.
Right. Only about your, yes, let me see. Okay, so letter කියන එක හරි දුව. Letter details. Letter with postage. Customer first gives the letter, then take the postage, letter with postage. Or the පැත්තම පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙනවා නේද? Letter with postage. Okay. Postage amount. Balance amount is given, right? Okay. And stamp. දුව අතන stamp කියන එකේදී හොඳයි stamp details කියලා ආවනම් stamp එකත් අවුලක් නැහැ. But it's much better if you have stamp details, right? Okay. And the letter with stamps and the receipt. Yes. Okay, you can take all 4 marks though, no problem. Yes, පොඩ්ඩක් මේ බලන්නේ notes මොනවා හරි මේගොල්ලෝ කියලා තියනවද කියලා. Yes, no problem. Right, then after the level 1, let me see the level 1. So yes, right. Yes, that's correct. Okay. Okay. Yes, very good, Dua. Very good, no problem, no problem. Yes, you can take full marks for that, Dua. No problem. Dua podi දෙයක් දුවගේ අර process name, process ID එක 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 විදිහට යන්න පුරුදු වෙන්න දුව. අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් level 1 වලදී එහෙම 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 කියලා යනවා. right, මේ මෙතන තියෙනවා වගේ. Right. Okay, so that's correct. So if all those things are correct, you can take 9 marks, 4 marks for the context diagram, 5 marks for the level 1. And rest of the questions, yeah, let me see. They were asking about 3 significant reasons why the requirement analysis is important to the COTS project. So even though it is a COTS software. Okay. Mhm. මෙතන දුව උත්තර ලියනකොට පොඩ්ඩක් ජෙනරික් ආන්සර්ස් වුණා නම් හොඳයි. මේකල කියලා තියෙනවා generic answers will not be accepted කියලා. ඒකට දුවගේ ලියවෙන එක දුව කියන්නේ generic කියලා කියන්නේ අර මෙන්න මේ points වලට against දුව ලියවෙන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට දුවගේ first point එකේ කියලා තියෙන්නේ it is used for all A-level and all students. The requirement should be analyzed well in order to prevent any issues. ඒකට ලකුණක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්, no problem. Second එකෙත් නිකන් ඒ විදිහෙම දෙයක් තියෙන, the requirement of both students and the teachers should be considered and analyzed. ඒ කියන්නේ දුවගේ first and second arguments දෙකම දුව පොඩ්ඩක් එකම විදිහට යන්නේ දුව. Right? So ඒ කියන්නේ ඕකේ arguments එන්න ඕනේ දුව එකක් ඉස්කෝලේ COT system එකේ school system එකයි COT system එකයි අතර තියෙන gap එක analyze කරගන්න ඕනේ. Right? So that should be discussed. Right? So like they say online system to provide extended learning support to A-level and all-level students. So you have to say like they should analyze the gap in between the COT system and the normal situation, or like the normal system or like the ongoing system of the school, to recognize how the gap should be filled. මේ දෙක අතර තියෙන gap එක කොහොමද fill කරගන්නේ කියලා. මොකද COTS එක ඉස්කෝලේ යන process එකට හරියටම align වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ගොඩක් COTS systems එහෙමයි. So අපි කියන්නේ gap එක ගැන analyze කරගන්න ඕනේ එකක්. Right? ඊළඟට මේ අලුතෙන් activities එනවා නම්, so how those activities are going to be carried out, right? If the business process is going to change, or like the process that is happening inside the college is going to change, how that change should happen, right? දුවගේ third point එකට ලකුණු දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයා ඒකේ අර ඒක දන්නේ නැති නිසා ඒගොල්ලන්ට කොහොමද කරන්න කියලා arrange කරන්න කියලා තියෙනවනේ. So එතන දුව ලකුණු 3න් 2ක් settle කරගන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාලට. Clear ද දුව? Right. Last එකේ third එකේ උත්තරේ හරි. ACE functional requirements ටික හරියට තෝරගෙන තියෙනවා. Right? And the last one, acceptance test. Yes. Yes. Can be taken, given the marks though. Right. Okay. So from that, the discussion is going to do an end, as well as officially the class is done. ළමයි. එතකොට මොනවා හරි අඩුපාඩු තියෙනවා නම් clear කරගන්න ඕන දේවල් තියෙනවා නම් මාව contact කරන්න. right, contact කරලා WhatsApp එකවල හරි කොහොම හරි clear කරගන්න ළමයි දේවල් ටික. right, මම අයිත අර පණිවිඩ දෙන්න. so thank you very much and good luck. right, අරගෙන කරන්න. තව class එකක් arrange කරන්න ඕන නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ request කරන්න group එක ඇතුලේ. එතකොට මට කොහොමද settle වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් individually ඕන දෙයක් තියෙනවා නම් කතා කරන්න. until the exam happens, I am here to help you, right? So thank you very much. Right, good luck. හොඳට කරගන්න. right, හරි ළමයි ගිහින් එන්න. right, okay, thank you very much then.